Welcome to the Ages of Rock podcast with your hosts Bill Algie, Dennis Talbot, and Alan Tate. We are three guys who have one thing in common, a love of rock and roll. Our goal is to talk about all things rock. We hope you find this show intriguing, funny, and occasionally highly opinionated. Enjoy! All right, folks, this is episode 120, and this week we have Jeremy Asbrock as our guest, and this episode will go live on May 17th, 2018. And as always, before we get to our special guest, we've got a couple of things to say. And I'll start out with, I got some good news last week. I will be given one media pass at the Rocklahoma music event on Memorial Day weekend, so I'm not sure exactly who I'm going to get to interview yet. I've got a couple of interviews lined up already, but still got plenty of time to get rejected by all the big boys.
Cool.
And
I know you try to get those for years.
Yeah, I try I'm going to go to Rocklahoma whether I get the passes or not. But
right.
By the way,
cool.
if you're watching this and you are at Rocklahoma, I will be tweeting out my campsite, and I'm going to be interviewing people who come to Rocklahoma and asking them a few questions related to their experience at Rocklahoma. So if you'd like to be on our show, stop on by.
Cool. Is that next to the tent where they test for STDs, or is that a different?
Oh, they're having the band
it
STP.
It is the tent with
STP. Oh, I'm sorry. I misunderstood that.
All right. Bill, you got a quick story you want to tell?
Yeah, so we had a great time. I had a great time this weekend at the Indie Expo, so we're going to be covering that here in the upcoming week. We had this episode already in the can. But here's what happens when you're exhausted after spending I don't know how many hours we were there. 20 some odd hours probably.
Yeah, probably. At
the Indie Expo in 2 days and had a great time. You just throw your clothes off and get into bed, and then when you get up the next day and your wife's done laundry and you just bought all these really nice
really nice
that is funny.
There's a big ass stack of these son of bitches.
I opened up my washer. Kelly says, "Hey, I threw a bunch of your clothes in there." I got it back out. I had those breath mints in there.
Oh, yeah.
I had some $1 bills crammed down in my pockets. Had some of those picks that we got. So I'm cleaning the washer out. There's little pieces of fucking paper and shit everywhere. It's funny you say that. The same thing happened to me.
Well, I don't know what it is with our wives and not checking our pockets, because when I do laundry, I check everybody's pocket, and if you left money in your pocket, it's my money now.
Yeah. No, we don't check pockets typically, but
yeah, the Indie Expo, that was a real fun weekend, and this old boy was so exhausted. I'm so glad I took Monday off, because I had to take a nap at 10 o'clock Monday morning, and then I had to take another nap at 1 o'clock Monday afternoon. And I finally recovered enough that I could get the yard mowed Monday evening.
It was exhausting.
It was.
I mean, we stood, and that's what my sciatic's acting up tonight. But man, I tell you, we stood up and walked around and stood up and then sit down for a little bit and then walked around and stood up. We got a ton of great stories though about this weekend. Like I said, we're gonna do a whole show. That's what we're gonna record it here in the next couple of days. Got a couple of great fly on the wall stories. You guys are gonna love. I told the stories to Kelly, and she's like, "And you didn't film it because why?" And I'm like, "Because I didn't think about it."
Well, you know what else that none of us thought about while we were there?
Bumpers.
We didn't do a bumper for a single person we interviewed.
Well, that's because we're bumper free.
You know what we did though?
Apparently,
you know what we did though? Me and Alan played Yank It and Crank It on the way home, and we marked.
Well,
I wrote down all the.
Can you explain what that is? For those people that are listening that may go, what?
We had 5 stations on the satellite radio, and as we were driving home, if either one of us could call the Yank, and when we did, we had to go to the next preset station till the next Yank song come on.
So the presets were 70s on 7, 80s on 8, Classic Rewind, Hair Nation, and Ozzy's Boneyard.
Yeah,
cool.
There were quite a few Yanks.
I played music loudly for about an hour, about 40 minutes.
Yeah, we had a little longer.
We had a little longer trip home.
All right, let's get to it, man. Well, Dennis, do you have anything?
No, and just like I said, just to tell you guys, we do have some. We're actually doing one on Tuesday, but we met a lot of people up there. Going to do some longer interviews with some guests, so we got a lot of great things coming up. You need to check it out. Also, go to the Rock and Pod Expo page. We have a guitar that we had everybody in the place up there sign except for one person, and I cannot say that name. I won't even tell the story, but
because it's not appropriate or what?
No, it's just
Well,
something that
it wasn't that person's fault that person couldn't sign the guitar.
Right.
But it was a funny situation. But anyway,
we'll tell that story.
No, we won't tell that story. But anyway, got a lot of great stuff coming up, just like tonight. Come on, Alan.
What's tonight?
Segue.
That's not a good segue because I'm not done. I had a thought, and you started talking about that guitar, and my train of thought derailed.
But there is a guitar over there on the Rock and Pod Expo page that you can buy chances, $10 tickets.
Okay, my thought is back in my head.
Oh, so. Better let him go now.
So what I have done is I haven't put any of the content that we recorded at the Indie Expo online yet, except for a couple of things. What you need to do is go to youtube.com/Ages of Rock podcast and subscribe to our YouTube channel to get that exclusive content, because I don't know that it's going to go on the audio side.
Gotcha. And the first one you put out there is a very, very funny one. You need to watch it. It's really good. It's one you have to see.
E.T. Brown and Christopher Williams need their own show.
Exactly.
They do. Actually, they had their own show for about 20 minutes.
It was a 6-minute show.
6-minute show.
About 6 minutes.
Yeah.
Felt like 20 minutes.
But it was funny.
I was jealous.
That's because we were laughing so hard.
That's true.
That was funny.
There was a lot of laughs this weekend.
There were a lot of laughs. We're seeing a lot of people that I haven't seen in over 10 years. So.
And some of our listeners were there and sit down and talk to us. And
that's right.
Jeff Rogers. Wake up, Jeff. Wake up, Jeff.
Wake up, Jeff.
Hey, Jeff.
Hey, Jeff, are you there?
Wake up.
Oh, he's going to be asleep, man.
Yeah. All right, you guys.
Sing a lullaby.
All right, are you guys ready to talk to Jeremy?
Let's go, man.
Let's do
Bam.
One more time.
All right, folks, here is Jeremy Asbrock. How you doing, Jeremy?
Hey, how you doing? I'm doing fantastic.
You look pretty relaxed, man.
Had the bird chirping and everything's all. It was like
it's actually a green screen.
It's like a Disney video. There'll be like little birds landing on the shoulder in a minute singing.
If an animated bird pops up on your shoulder, we're just going to close this down.
It might be a buzzard.
Or a drop. That wouldn't be good either. That would not be good at all. How you doing, man?
The scenery in the back will probably change around because I'll get bored sitting down, and then I'll start walking a little bit, and then you'll see it changing a little bit back here. So if I start to make you dizzy, just let me know.
The viewers will appreciate it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
They like looking at something different, except for Dennis's ugly mug every week. So
cool. There you go. So you guys just did a 3-date run with the Gene Simmons Band, and this coming weekend, by the time this airs, it will be last weekend. You guys were at the Indianapolis Expo.
That is correct.
What else?
And it's funny. I just got a message while you guys were talking to me that I need to be ready by 10 a.m. tomorrow. So, Ryan, I will be ready at 10 a.m. tomorrow.
Awesome.
So,
what other? You guys are Gene Simmons is heading to Australia soon. Is that correct?
Yeah, we've got a lot more before that, though. So we're going to go to Stockholm for one show in June. And then the next month, mid-July, we're going to go to Europe for 5 shows. Oberhausen, Germany, Vienna, Czech Republic, Tilburg, Holland, and I know that I'm forgetting one. GeneSimmonsBand.com. No.
There you go.
There you go.
He saved it. Awesome.
It's the best thing to do right there.
That's great. And then, like I said, no. One thing I had to ask you too. Like I said, we were talking. Sorry.
We'll have a couple things in the States after that, and then Australia.
Awesome.
So yeah, there's a lot of stuff in between now and then.
So, and also when you're in Australia, you're also working with Ace, correct?
We will be playing with Ace Frehley. Yes.
So you're going to be some busy lads here in a few months.
Yeah. It's weird. I didn't see that one coming. So I don't know. It's still kind of not real. I see it on flyers and papers, Ace Frehley and Gene Simmons, and I know we're going to back him up, but the reality of the situation hasn't really hit yet.
So who
might
plays
not until
lead
that first show.
day?
Ace Frehley.
That's what I was like. Four guitars.
Not me. not unless he asks. But
So when will you go into? Are you going to be doing some rehearsals with Ace? I guess to get the show down before that happens.
We are planning on doing some rehearsals with Ace. We do not have anything scheduled as of yet, but
Right.
you know, I'm certainly hoping so.
He's like, here's my songs. Be
Well,
ready to
you
go.
know, if not, we all know how to play his songs,
Right.
and we'll figure out how to end them when we get there.
Exactly.
That's true. That's true.
So where are you originally out of then? I know we talked to Brian and we've talked to
Phil.
Phil. Sorry, Phil. And Phil said that he knew you longer than he knew Ryan.
Yes,
guys
I'm actually the only real Nashvilleian in the band. I was born right outside of town in Murfreesboro, raised in Smyrna, which is 20 minutes out of town, and moved to Nashville 2 weeks after I graduated high school. So, I mean, I'm the real thing here. I met Philip in 2001. I was playing in a band called the Shazam, and we did all right in England. And there's a British magazine called Mojo, and he read about us in that magazine, and was kind of surprised that there was a band influenced by the Beatles and Cheap Trick and the Who and stuff in Nashville. So he came to check us out, and he was wearing a Love Gun shirt. And this was before you could get a Love Gun. There was, not really a lot of eBay at the time, and you couldn't buy it at Target. Oh, man, that's a cool shirt. Talked to that dude after the show, and I don't know, just stayed friends. I hooked him up with a friend's band a couple of years later, and he moved here, and we didn't actually start playing together for a lot of years. We just hung out and were friends and stuff, and then we started doing tribute bands for fun, and then the rock and roll residency happened for fun and desperation. Do you hear that? That's my neighbor. That's my neighbor. Hey, world, check this shit out.
This is awesome. We get real time.
Yeah. I can't believe that just happened.
Oh, that happens
All
in
right.
my house all the time.
We'll go back outside in a minute, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah. It's all right.
Like I said, this is a conversation, so we can.
It's no big deal.
It's no big deal.
I swear I live in a nice neighborhood.
Or my neighbor would be like,
everybody
"Hey,
has money.
Dennis, you got any beers in your fridge? Come on, let's go over."
Oh yeah, you get in fights with your neighbors all the time. Don't start that crap.
I do get invited.
You redneck.
I don't try to bring that up. That's long past. So anyway,
So anyways, yes, the rock and roll residency, and I don't know, that thing's kind of carried us pretty far. We don't really do the tribute bands as much anymore. We've been working with one called Mangus, which is a friend of ours in town. Sings like Bon Scott, and it's a AC/DC thing. I'm sure anybody paying attention to our clips. Yes, he did.
We met him at the Rock and Pod. Yeah, that was
Yeah, Rock and Pod
Yeah.
Expo.
Congratulations, Mangus.
Yeah.
Yeah, we want to get down there on Tuesday. It's just for us to get down there on Tuesday night is so hard, But one of these nights I've got to make it down there. I kept telling my wife, I said, one of these days I'm just going to just take it. We're going to go down there. We're going to hit that place.
Yeah. The good news for the locals is it starts around 8:00, and we're usually done a little bit before 11. So.
Oh, really?
Also, everybody can get home, get a look.
It's not one of those 1 o'clock bullshit thing. Okay, great.
Oh,
Yeah,
no.
my wife has already told me I need to get down there to it, so I've got my kitchen pass, Dennis.
Well, I can go too. I mean, hell, if it's done by 11, I can be home by 1. Hell, I've done that. I'm not that old.
Oh yeah, man, we've been wrapping up by 10:45 lately.
Yeah. Well, you know what? We're going to be doing this, Alan. I'm driving that.
We have to plan a little. If we can plan a little bit, that'd be great. Because
you got another hour.
I got a
and
little
half,
further
though.
to drive.
Yeah,
Not a
I
lot.
think
Yeah.
it's not bad for me.
Did you guys play last night? Did you guys get to play?
We did.
Cool.
I'm trying to remember what we played. It all becomes a blur. It really does. Every Tuesday kind of runs together.
I see where you have the guy from the does the Queen.
Yes, Tyler Warren.
Tyler Warren, yes.
Yeah, he plays percussion in the existing version of Queen.
Right.
And he started coming out semi-recently, but, man, we never really had anybody to fill that Queen hole because,
right.
Jesus Christ, that sounded terrible, didn't it?
Oh, it's awesome though. I like it.
That's awesome.
It's funny.
So far out of the
Fill that Queen
two we've done,
void.
you got the funniest.
How about Void?
Yeah,
Void sounds much better in that context. Never had anybody to fill that Queen void, so yeah, he's come out and done that. And
when he come out of nowhere from in my radar, I was watching some YouTube. You know how you get down that YouTube hole, and he did this thing where he did the whole Permanent Waves, Rush, did every basically did the bass, guitar, drums, and sang. And all on video and recorded the whole album. And I was like going, man, this guy who is this guy? Then I started doing some work, or looking through the internet, finding out that he plays with Queen too. I'm like going, holy shit,
That sounds like something he would do. I have not actually seen that, but he could play every instrument like a master and sing.
Oh, it's crazy. Exactly.
Sorry, dudes, I'm pouring myself a glass of wine.
Oh, you go ahead.
We're going to be yakking for a minute.
Oh, go ahead.
Well, I'll drink my unsweet tea to your glass of wine.
That looks like piss. Is what it looks like.
I tell you, if your piss is that color, dude, you got problems. You need to go to the doctor. That's not good.
Just drink some water.
Drink a lot of water. Cool.
Oh, he's drinking wine out of a mason jar.
Do you guys have a preset set list that you do, or do you do stuff on the fly, or how do you decide what you're doing?
Both, actually. Man, shut the fuck up, Harlan. I can't believe this dude.
Don't forget your wine.
I'll go back in a second. So before each trip we do, Gene will give us a rough set list, and I don't know, it kind of changes a little bit show to show. Sometimes we drop stuff. Like in Fort Wayne, I just randomly had played Rockin' in the USA at Soundcheck, and at the show he told me to start playing it, and we wound up playing half the song.
Yeah, Bill and I saw that. Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Yeah,
we've been pulling for that one for a long time, so I was kind of
cool.
Happy. Hopefully we can get the whole song in soon.
So what about
he takes suggestions? It's really a combination of both.
Yeah, cool. The residency, do you guys have a set list for that too, or is that more on the fly?
No, we usually have a set together by Sunday, so we don't really do a lot of stuff on the fly. We can and we have, but with that many guests and that many singers, coming on and off, you have to be a little more prepared for something like that.
Cool.
Exactly.
So how did you get the gig with Gene? Was that just through Ryan and that friendship? Is that right?
Pretty much. I mean, it's kind of spread over time. I know he had been, he's really good friends with Doc. So, I mean, he had already been on their radar around that, but he ran into them a lot in Los Angeles because he lived in Studio City, and, they would go to sushi restaurants, in the same area. So I know they knew of him for a while, and Doc asked him to bring his cover band, Big Rock Show, on the first Kiss cruise. I was not in the band at the time. Honestly, I don't know who their guitar player was. Whoever it was, they couldn't do the Kiss cruise. So Ryan had gotten a referral to Philip. Philip couldn't do it because he was playing with Rodney Atkins at the time. And, that left me.
Seems to have worked out.
So we've done 6 Kiss cruises out of the 7. So, I know Gene had seen us a few times and was aware that Ryan could play and was a good guy. And so when he had gotten approached about doing some shows for the Comic-Con things, he asked Ryan to put together a band, and I was a pretty obvious choice. Thanks, Ryan. I don't know, just the three of us, man. We're Kiss dorks together. We hang out together and listen to Kiss and talk about Kiss. And originally, Gene wasn't going to play, so one of us we were just going to pass the bass around and, all kind of have a good time. And then good sense prevailed. Gene played bass, and we couldn't really think of a reason to get rid of one guy. I mean, who are you going to get rid of? Yeah. And it also allowed us to, interpret the Kiss songs like the studio versions where, you may have a harmony solo, but you don't want to lose the rhythm guitar in the background. And Gene really, really likes it when we all play the same thing at the same time. So, I don't know. I've never really been in a band with three guitar players before. It's pretty fun.
It looks from the crowd side, it looks kind of, you're trying to figure out who's playing lead, who's playing what, It's really cool because it makes you pay more attention to that stuff than just, going to a regular show, because you kind of get lost in that. But
yeah, I'm sure it's hell for our house sound man who doesn't know who's playing what. That changes every show.
Yeah, that would not be good. But I tell you guys are a phenomenal band. We saw Alan and I went to see you guys also up in Anderson last year when you played at the racetrack, horse track, and that was
a quick side story. That's where my wife's grandfather lives. So I'm in Anderson 2 or 3 times a year, every year.
Wow.
So that was like sort of like a home gig for me. That was pretty cool. That was one of our good shows too. That was a great crowd.
That was a great show. Yeah.
It was fun.
Yeah, you get to hear the Bill and Alan ran behind the barricade instead of up on stage for Rock and Roll All Night.
Not this time though.
Well, this time we got it right. We knew where to be, when to be.
Yeah, we got that fixed this time. We got it down. So you think Gene continue doing shows after? I mean, is that something he's looking? Will that just continue through 2018, and then I know there's other plans in 2019. We've been seeing that. So,
yeah, man. Even if Kiss tours next year, I know that Gene will still do shows around it. I mean, we're doing that this summer. Kiss is doing a couple festivals in Europe in July, and then he's leaving those shows and then meeting us in Czech Republic to start our thing there. So, man, he's having a really, 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 really good time, and the shows are getting a lot of good feedback. So, man, he just likes to work, and as long as he's alive and can sing songs, I think he'll probably do shows.
Yeah, it was funny. You're muted, Alan?
Sorry, I wasn't muted. I guess I did mute it.
It was funny. I was talking, but your lips were moving. It was weird.
Well, I just realized too. I said something a while ago, and you just kind of talked over me, and I had mine muted also. So I'm just being retarded.
I was going to say, not only does Gene seem like he's having fun, but he's a really good sport when the people get on stage, because once you get him up there, you can't hardly get him off.
Yeah. Well, they do tend to loiter a little while. Everybody wants the photo, and I understand. I mean, if I were one of those people and that was my one moment and I managed to make it up there, you'd probably have to kick my ass off the stage too.
Well, I managed to make it right in front of Phil's mic. So when we were singing Do You Love Me, I was singing loud as I could.
It's weird. He's been having the guys up for Do You Love Me lately instead of I Love It Loud.
Yeah, I noticed that he had switched that around from the Anderson show.
I don't know if he's doing that on purpose. I think that's happening on accident.
It's Gene. He can do what he wants.
Because every time he does, we always look at each other like, the guys are going to sing Do You Love Me? Okay.
It's kind of funny. That's my favorite Kiss song. So I was like, hey, works for me. But
so that was like a really good example of him making a call, and we're all like, Do You Love Me? But man, that's like a signature Paul Stanley song. You're going to sound really weird singing that. So at the first show, he decided we were going to do that. We were like, man, do you want to run through that? Because, you've never sang that. And he's like, oh, no, you're going to sing it. I'm like, really? Are you sure anybody wants to hear us sing? And then he brought the girls up, and we did it a couple shows, and that was, you know what? That works. Okay, let's see. You know what you're talking about. Okay. And it is. It is a moment in the show that works, even though that is, That's a Paul Stanley song.
Gene's been around the block a few times. I think he's figured. He knows what's going on. But no, like I said, I want to see that show so bad. Like I said, I seen you guys in Nashville at the Gene Vault experience. I was down there for that, and you guys did your acoustic show down there, and that was a great little. I loved it. We stayed around. I had got my vault. I was number 6, so I got my vault very early that day.
What did he write on yours?
Oh,
He didn't write below me.
no, he didn't write below me. You got the best part. You got the best surprise, though. You got the boot, didn't you?
I got a half of the front of one of the boots. Yeah,
like,
with the red eye. It's from the farewell tour.
Oh, okay.
Also, they told me. I mean, I don't give a shit. It's still out of all the gifts you could get in the thing, that's pretty cool.
That is great. No, on mine, I had him write from one attractive or powerful and attractive man to another.
Mine said, "You're cute."
You're cute.
And he wrote that, and I looked at him. I said, "Really?"
Really?
So yeah, that's what my vault says. You're cute.
It was really, like I said, and, I've talked about it on the show already, so I don't want to go into deep on it, but it was really neat for me because, like I said, I had met him before at one of the official conventions years ago, and he signed a picture that I had took at. I went to 2 of those, and when I met him, he was real nice, just like normal, and I didn't get, it was like just okay, thank you, and nice, talk to him for a second, but that vault experience was just really a genuine experience. I mean, I really, it was a cool deal. It was worth everything.
Man, I pretty much missed the whole thing. Ryan and I have been on.
Yeah, you guys came in hot
with Big Rock Show, and I came in. I dropped my guitar. I got my dad acclimated to the situation, and we pretty much hopped on stage. I didn't get to say hi to Vinny or anything. He said bye as we were on stage. Yeah, I missed all of it.
Yeah, I had talked to Philip there for a little bit, and then E.T. was there and was talking to him, and then because we were talking about the Christmas show, and then he said, "Yeah," he goes, "I know the 2 they're on their way. They just," and then you showed up, and then it's like, well, you went ahead and had E.T. come up there and play bass for a while.
Well, because we didn't think we were starting until later. That's why Ryan was so far behind. We thought we were going to start playing around 4 or something. Then I got there, and it looked like people were thinning out. And it's like, hey, dude, better get your ass up here.
Yeah. Well, people were getting their vaults, and they were just leaving. They weren't staying around. I knew these.
Why would you do that?
I don't know. No, I stayed till
that was what me and Ryan thought. Why would you leave? Of course they're going to hang out.
Well, I did. I said I knew you guys were playing because I had Ryan said that you guys were. Oh yeah, we're definitely going to play. I'm like, well, hell, I'm staying around for that. And like I said, a lot of people got their shit and hauled and were gone. So, but no, it was a good show. I enjoyed every minute of it. It was really good. It was a good show. So I can't imagine what it's like when Gene playing with you guys. So one of these days I'm going to catch that show.
Well, I've been playing with Gene for a year and 2 months now, and it is still extremely surreal.
Wow.
It's awesome. I just can't ask for a cooler experience. I really can't.
That's cool.
That's how me and Bill felt Friday afternoon.
Yeah, when we walked in that, through the doors there, we'd seen you at going into the bus. We walked around the outside of the bus, and we walked into the catering area, and we got in there, and Gene's sitting at the table, and he's like, "Hey guys, hey guys, you guys want something to eat or something to drink, and want some cookies?" I don't know. He asked us if we wanted cookies, 300 times, and then I don't know, it was a bunch. And then he said, "Just have a seat over there. We'll be with you guys in a few minutes." And we sat there and listened to him just talk for a while. It was really cool. It was just like you were kind of in some place you weren't supposed to be, probably, but just it was neat because it was you're talking a while ago about him being a businessman. He was on the business train.
Yeah,
when we were sitting there,
he
riding
that baby hard.
Train. He does not get off that train. It was cool.
Funny.
Yeah, so you're talking about feeling like you're in a forbidden area. I mean, imagine being on a 6-hour bus ride from Clear Lake, Iowa to St. Charles, Illinois, sitting in the lounge in your jammies, hanging out with Uncle Gene, talking about whatever.
Wow.
Whatever.
Why
I talked to
farmers
you
need
guys about.
investors. That was one of his topics, is why farmers need investors. It was really fascinating.
Of course, it was. We pulled over at a Culver's and got some some crap food, and he had never had custard before.
That's funny.
He liked it, but he went on a diet that day, so he didn't finish it. But so he took a couple photos, and then I saw that stop at Culver's made the news there.
Really?
I think I remember seeing some pictures from that.
It probably did.
I guarantee it. Gene Simmons stopped in today and had custard.
Man, he loved it. He took photos with anybody who wants it. He loves it.
No, I guarantee he does. I guarantee he does. Hey, one thing I noticed this week, was it this last week, that you guys got your advertisement through Vintage Guitars. I thought that was really cool. Ryan was the one I had asked him that same question here, 4 or 5 weeks ago when we had him on here. I mentioned, what kind of guitars you use, and of course that came up. So I was intrigued by that. I'm like, I'm gonna have to look into these guitars. Well, I got one. I thought I'd have it by today. It hadn't come in yet. I called my guy at the store. I'm like going, he goes, it's been shipped. It's coming from Texas. And I'm like going, God damn it, I want to get this.
No, but that's good, man. If it's coming from Texas, that means, Kevin Easton's probably taking care of it. He's the guy that does our guitars. And, Rick, I don't know if he's who you talk to. Yeah. All Dallas, Texas based.
Yeah, they're actually.
Did you get the V100?
I got the V100, the stressed cherry burst.
Awesome. That's what I think. Ryan has one of those. I have the one that's not stressed.
Right.
As my backup. Man, they're fantastic guitars. I mean, I got to give Phil full credit for that one. He played one and traded his real Strat for one of their Strats, and that began this domino effect.
Right. Yeah, we have an actual dealer across the river here in Kentucky, and I went and looked at him over there, and I was looking at the tobacco burst is what I was looking at originally, and they had one over there, and I just didn't like the look of it, but I liked the cherry burst, but they didn't have any stressed ones. They had a used one that the guy was playing. So then after playing one and looking at them, and hearing what you guys were saying about them, then I come over to my dealer over here, and he's like not a dealer, but he's dealing EVH amps now, and the woman that's his dealer actually has that line also. So I think he's going to start carrying them here too. So I ordered it through him. That's why it's taking a little longer. He had to do some paperwork on temporary dealership and stuff. So, but I'm looking forward to getting it. It's going to be awesome.
That's great, man. I mean, they're affordable guitars that are as awesome as expensive guitars.
Mm-hmm. And like I said, I got too many expensive ones I can't take to the bars because they get tore up and bent. I got a Paul Reed right now that I've just ruined, from years of playing in the bars, and it is what it is. But
playing those has definitely allowed me to retire my really, really, really nice stuff that I would like to pass down.
That's what I'm looking at right now, so that's cool. Awesome.
Cool. Where did you get? Did you So let's talk a little bit more about you. We've been talking about the Gene Simmons thing for a while. So where did you get your start in Nashville? Did you start playing there? Did you start playing somewhere else? Or
man,
you grew up around there, so.
Well, hang on a second. Sorry. All right. I started taking guitar lessons when I was 8, and I didn't really move that fast because I didn't have the right teachers. They were trying to teach me how to read music and really, really important things that I needed to learn. But I wanted to learn bar chords and rock guitar. So this kid that went to high school, my brother, started teaching at one of the guitar stores in town, and he was the guy. So that was the guy that taught me how to play bar chords, pentatonic scale, and when you learn the pentatonic scale, that's the A scale. Like, oh, okay, now I sound like I can play lead guitar.
Right.
So by the time I was 14, he had kind of taught me everything he could teach me. He's like, man, you just need to go put together a band. And I started high school the next year, and I wound up in a band with the only other guys that played instruments. And I have to say, for a bunch of 15, 16-year-olds, everybody was really good at their instrument. And we came to Nashville, played a gig at the Cannery. Anybody from the Nashville area knows, the Cannery was a pretty big happening club in 1991. And that being your first show was a pretty big deal. Mm-hmm. And the dude was pretty charmed that a bunch of 15-year-olds could play that good. So he put us on at 10:30 the next show. And I mean, it was packed, like fucking 800, 1,000 people or something. And we broke up a month later.
We've heard that story before.
So then I hooked up with this band called the Shazam when I was around 19 or so. But I was more like band best friend, head cheerleader, roadie, just because I loved the band and thought they were awesome. They were like a Beatles Cheap Trick type thing. And I don't know, their music just got to a point where they needed another guitar player, and I knew every song and I could sing harmonies, and you're in. And that occupied about 15 years of my life. So I don't know, anybody that wants to look up the Shazam, you'll find lots of albums, some of which I played on, some of which I didn't. And we did a lot of cool stuff, toured England, did a TV broadcast from Abbey Road. That was
cool.
One of the top 3 moments ever. That was badass. Met Philip because of that situation, which led us all here. So, yes, I've been playing Nashville since 1991.
Wow.
That's awesome. Awesome.
Well, talk about some of your musical influences.
Kiss.
Well, Kiss goes without saying for all of us here.
So I got my first Kiss record when I was about 3.5. And I think my music obsession had started before that because my mom told me that I used to climb the bookcase and try to put on Dreamweaver, because that was apparently my favorite song in 1977.
Right.
So let's see, Kiss. So the Who, when they did their original farewell show, it was an HBO special. Y'all remember that?
Oh yeah.
1983 or so. So my brother told me, "Hey, they're in the Guinness Book of World Records is the loudest band." I'm like, "Oh my God, I gotta watch that." So, after Kiss, I found the Who, and after that was Van Halen, and then that sort of opened the floodgates to, 80s metal pretty much, because I started buying, Circus and Hit Parader magazines, and, MTV came into play a couple years later, and, I definitely watched MTV and mass consumption. But I don't know. I guess it turns out it was just research.
Exactly.
What was the first Kiss record you bought?
So, yeah, man, like just
I think he's
heavy metal magazines and learning how to play guitar, and then that band, and then through that band, musicians, and then I met the Shazam, and they got me out of Nashville and did a lot of cool things. Really, yeah, I'm roaming my yard.
Yeah, when you get too far away, your picture freezes up.
Yeah, he's in.
All right, you got me?
Yeah, we're good.
There you go.
Okay,
They're better.
cool.
They're better.
Right on.
Be like me. I was out roaming my yard with a mower a while ago.
I was too.
right before the storm hit. Thank God I got it done. See, we've been chopping up ice balls.
What was the first Kiss record you bought?
So it was side 3 and 4 of Alive 2. So the kid that lived behind us came out, and he had just the records. He's like, "Hey, I'll sell these for 50 cents a piece." And, I asked my mom for 50 cents. She's like, "Okay, you could buy one." And I have an older brother. He's 6 years older than me, so that would have made him around 10. He's like, "Get that one. It has Shout It Out Loud." So it was side 3 and 4.
Which you got side 4 is the best side of that whole album anyway.
And it's funny, like when I did the Kiss cruise this past time, I rode the shuttle over with Bob Kulick, and Larger Than Life was my favorite song out of the whole thing. And so that guitar solo was one of the first guitar solos that meant anything to me, and it wasn't even Ace.
No, it wasn't.
So I got to tell Bob that story.
That's great.
Side note about that song: I've played that song on stage with Bob.
All
Oh
right.
yeah.
Yeah.
I've seen you play it with Bob
Yeah.
actually.
Bob, I did a Kiss Expo in 2004, and he was a special guest, and I had an unmasked tribute band, and I played bass. So, one of my
I'd
claims to
love to play
fame.
that song with Gene.
Yeah. That's one of my 2 or 3 claims to fame. Bob Kulick, Ron Keel, and now Gene Simmons.
I think on the level of, I think you're going up, man. What's next?
Who knows?
I don't know, man. All that's left is Paul McCartney, and man, he's had his band for a long time. I don't think they're going anywhere.
Have you ever seen him live? I've never seen him live. I want to go, but I've never
I've seen him 3 times. Philip and I saw him last summer, like right outside of Atlanta, and man, it was in a small place. It only held like 13,000 people, and
Really? Okay.
man, he can still do a 3-hour show without taking a drink of water. It's amazing.
Wow, that's incredible. Foo Fighters do a 3-hour show, don't they?
Yes, they do.
Yeah, whatever. Nobody cares.
It's a great no. Fuck you, Bill. It's a great show.
What you said.
I took you to a Foo Fighter show.
I had a great time. I did. We're busting his
You know,
balls.
I saw the Foo Fighters one time, and it was at a club here called 328 Performance Hall that held about 900 to 1,000 people. Mike Watt was the headliner. Foo Fighters were second. Their first album had just come out,
Right.
and a group called Hovercraft was first. And it was Eddie Vedder and his wife, and they played behind a screen. And the place was so ridiculously packed just because everybody thought Eddie Vedder was going to be there.
Wow.
And Nirvana's drummer, you know, they knew he was going to be, but nobody ever actually saw Eddie Vedder, but it was them. And but yeah, I saw Foo Fighters
Once.
first tour.
Awesome.
Wow,
Awesome.
that's pretty impressive. That's
It is
cool.
Impressive.
Yeah, we're just getting him because when we were seeing you guys in Fort Wayne on Friday night, he was in Nashville seeing.
I was
the
in
Foo
Nashville
Fighters.
seeing the Foo Fighters.
We were just sending him pictures, going, "Hey, check this out! It's us and Gene, and check this out." We're sitting here talking to Philip, man.
Oh, I know. I think everybody in Nashville but me, Philip, and Ryan were at that show.
Oh, it was packed. It was packed. Trust me. Oh, it was amazingly packed. It was a good show though. We had a good time. Struts were really good too, and good show.
Yeah,
But
they were on the Kid Rock cruise with Big Rock Show last year.
Oh, were they? Were they?
Yeah, so I've seen them a few times.
Yeah, they're pretty good. I like those guys too. And that's one thing I was glad that they brought them back after the cancellation. So
Yeah, I was supposed to go and look when it was in Lexington, but I couldn't go and didn't work. Well, they canceled that show, right? So they canceled that show, so they rescheduled it. When they rescheduled it, I didn't want to go, and we got our money back, and Al and I found a better gig. Sorry, man. That's the way it works.
exactly.
So we'll get to see you again on Saturday.
Yes,
So-
man, I'm really excited. Like, you know, I haven't been to a Kiss Expo since before the reunion tour. Actually, it's been that long, and I've certainly never been to an expo on this side of the fence or this side of the table.
Right.
Because we're going to have a table there. We're going to be selling stuff like all the other guys are, except our booth's probably going to be a little cooler.
So
We
you
got a
guys-
booth.
You guys are going to be performing there.
Right.
What can we expect from the Gene Simmons Band minus Gene Simmons?
Well, maybe not really many Kiss songs. We weren't really clear on what the hell we're doing or what we're supposed to do or what's expected of us. So we'll probably whip out a couple residency standards. Chuck Garrick is going to play bass with us on a few tunes. You know, Chuck
Cool.
Garrick was our original residency bass player,
Right.
if anybody doesn't know that. So
Right.
since he's going to be there, we're going to enlist his services for a few tunes. I think Lita Ford's going to play with us. I heard
Cool.
Ace may or may not play with us. I got to be honest, man. I don't know. It's going to be a surprise to me as much as all of you. But that's okay, because that's kind of what we do at the residency. So I'm up for anything.
Oh,
That's
wow.
cool. It's going to be cool,
Definitely,
man.
definitely looking forward to that. It ought to be.
Yeah.
there are so many guests there that it's going to be probably one of the most pleasant clusterfucks we've ever seen in our lives.
Yeah, we're actually leaving. Alan and I are driving to Bill's tomorrow night up at Columbus, and then we're driving that next morning up to Indy to set our table. We got a table also, and we're going to be setting up, and then we're going to be there both Saturday and Sunday, so it's going to be great.
We're only going to be there Saturday. We have to come back on Sunday, but we're getting there Friday night, so whatever might be some sort of mayhem that evening.
There's some good mayhem up there. You need to go. I tell you what, you need to go to a great bar.
The hotel
restaurant.
bar. I know that one.
No,
we do
don't
that one
go
all
there.
the time.
No, don't go there. There's a place called Kuma's Corner, and it's in Fountain Square. It's a rock bar. They play metal in the bar, which is great, but the food is phenomenal, and they have a great bar. It's great. I mean, it really is good. Hopefully Saturday night we're going to go after we get done with the gig with being up there Saturday, because it's a cool place. And
I mean, you probably know
awesome.
more about what's going on Saturday than I do. I don't know what time we're playing. I don't know where we're playing. I'm kind of
actually we can probably tell you that.
I think it's 8:00. I think, or was it here? I'll pull it up real quick.
They're playing at 8:30, right? Eric plays at 8:00 or something.
Hold on.
I don't know.
I'll tell you real quick.
We finally saw a schedule. I've been kind of bitching about it a little bit.
It says here, Gene Simmons Band performs in the Hall of Champions at 8:00.
There you go.
There you go. So
I heard I might be playing some Badlands also
with Eric Singer, and he plays after
Singer.
you.
Yeah,
he plays with you after.
Okay,
or he plays after you guys. So
I guess I better go over that again, huh?
I can't wait to see all these mishmashes of different.
Me too, man. That's the most exciting part to me, man. Not like, who knows? We might not play anything on our set list. That's kind of how our Tuesdays are sometimes when these guests show up. I don't know, like the mystery is the fun part, and everybody are capable musicians, so it's not going to be terrible.
Right.
Well, it could be, but
it's not going to be terrible. You guys have way too much talent for it to be terrible.
Man, there've been some train wrecks, dude. I'm not going to lie to you. But that's bound to happen when you don't rehearse a song that you've never played in your life. So
right. So this is the expo. Where is it located in Indy? Is it what side of town is it? Or is it close to?
It's on the west side, out by the airport.
Okay, I have no idea. So
well, it's on the west side near that area.
Gotcha. Okay. I figured you'd know where that's at. So
no, I don't really know all the hotels in Indianapolis. It's pretty big.
No, I'm saying you live in the area. You know,
I don't typically stay in the hotels up there.
So
you know what I mean.
So, Jeremy, what else do you have going on? Are you working on any original music or anything like that?
Well, Philip and I actually have a 5-song EP mixed and mastered and produced by Michael Wagner. We just haven't really figured out how to get it out there yet because we've been sidetracked with a lot of other things like Gene Simmons Band and the Rock and Roll Residency, and the fact that, releasing and marketing and selling original music is one of the hardest things to do in the world right now. So right. Yes, we have some. We don't really sit around and write a lot of tunes. That doesn't really happen, but there is a John Corabi Live 94 that just came out not too long ago. I did play guitar on that.
Cool.
That turned out really good. I hadn't heard it since we did it, actually, and I don't know why it took so long to release, but we did it in October of 2015, and it came out, 3 months ago maybe. So nobody's checked that out, and you like that Motley 94 record, it sounds just like the record. I was really pleasantly surprised when I heard it back, and wow, we sound good.
Yeah, I listened to that album. Which song was that you said it was on? Or
what's that?
Which song was it, or which track were you on that album?
Oh, not on the Motley record, but
no, on the Corabi Live one.
Oh, I'm the guitar player on the whole thing.
Oh, the whole thing. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah,
okay, I'm gonna say I listened to that. And I liked it a lot, actually.
Yeah, I played guitar with him for since 2014.
Awesome.
Oh wow.
That's cool.
So, you guys ever with the rock and roll residency? Do you ever get any tips early on that people are coming in, or is it just people show up, or how does that? Is that just a kind of fly by night thing, or
Both. I mean,
both?
Robin Zander just showed up. I had no idea he was coming, and we had to figure it out right then. Like Roger Glover and Don Airy, you know, we knew they were coming. Most of the time we have a heads up from a friend whoever's bringing them, and, you know, we can kind of figure something out. But no, there are the random people like Robin Zander who's like, wow, hey man, you want to do something? What do you want to do? Let's do Long Way to the Top. Okay, yeah, we know that one. Yeah, let's do it.
That's cool.
That's pretty cool.
I actually watched that video. I like that a lot. That's good.
Are there any bands you're listening to now? Any new stuff or anything that you're checking out besides that of a 2.5-year-old?
The only thing, yeah. Curious George. I listen to a lot of ELO and Queen and Tom Petty because that's what my son loves, which could certainly be worse.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Man, I listen to music that we're going to play on Tuesday. Luckily, that's mostly really cool shit. I don't really get the time like I used to listen to music a lot for pleasure, just because touring and having a child and whatnot. If anybody out there doesn't know who the Sensational Alex Harvey Band is, you really need to get their first album, Framed, and go from there. That is top shelf 70s rock.
Was it now? I mean, write this down.
I'm writing that stuff down. Sensational. What?
The Sensational Alex Harvey Band. I mean, hell, you can get off the phone or whenever and just Midnight Moses. You know, that's, if they got a classic, that is one.
All right.
It's a classic in our show.
Check it out.
Well, tell the audience where they can find you, Jeremy.
At a Gene Simmons show.
Good answer.
You can find me on my Facebook page. I tell you to go to my real one, but I just had to create another one because I maxed out my 5,000 friends. So, you know, there's another one that looks exactly like my original one, and they will mirror each other. So it will pretty much be the same page. Instagram, the Jeremy Asbrock, 2 E's, Thee. And you can follow me on Twitter. It's not that exciting. I think I'm just at Jeremy Asbrock on that. I don't tweet a lot. Man, 3 social medias, that's a lot to keep up with, man. Especially with a fucking
Hey,
kid.
I'm not a tweeter
Tuesday
either.
Show and Gene Simmons and, you know, whatever else comes down the pike, and, you know.
Bill and Alan, they're tweeting like crazy,
honestly,
and I'm like,
not gonna
get
lie,
it.
I'm the worst social media guy in the band. Luckily, they're all really good, and I get tagged and stuff, so I can get stuff out there via their posts. But you know, hey, life happens. You know what I'm saying?
It works, man.
I have every intention of having www.jeremyasbrock.com. In fact, I should probably secure that as soon as we get off the phone, so somebody doesn't do that. I got a week. I got a week before this comes out, right?
Actually, I'd read something that Gene Simmons has already got that website.
It wouldn't surprise me. It would not surprise me at all, because he's all about the trademark.
He's got that website. He's got a couple other ones. Ryan Cook had to put his middle name in there because he was getting that as well. And I'm just kidding.
Well, actually, I looked Ryan Cook up. There is a golfer.
About 5,000.
Yeah. Some sports guy is Ryan Cook, so that's why he's got the Spencer in there.
I am very fortunate that I am the only Jeremy Asbrock out there.
There you go.
Yeah. Some of us are pretty unique. Yeah. Mine's unique
Fuck,
too.
I'm gonna have to spend like $60 on a bunch of domain names as soon as we get off the phone now.
You got a week, so you're good.
Yeah, right. Yeah. This won't come out till next Thursday, so you're good, man.
Yeah, from this recording, you've got 7 days.
Shit. Well, actually, I only have one. Wednesday is my only day off.
There you go.
I'm gonna be at the expo, then I'm gonna get back and get busy on Tuesday. Then it's gonna be Tuesday, and then it's gonna be Wednesday.
Isn't it like that horror movie? Like you got 7 days after this, you got to get things done or whatever it is.
Exactly. Ridiculous.
No.
I'd be dead last week.
Well, we're looking looking forward to seeing you this weekend. Like I said, up at Indy, I'm looking forward to that show. The whole weekend's going to be just a blast. It's just gonna be
even like the day thing is going to be a blast. We're gonna make our booth pretty fun.
Cool. We'll definitely come by. Like I said, we'll have our booth too, so stop by ours and get it walking around and what have you.
Certainly.
And we'll do this up right. But yeah, it's going to be a great weekend. I'm looking forward to it.
All right,
us too. And thanks a million for coming out to the show last weekend.
Oh man, it was
so the set list. I mean, that was a good set, right?
That was a great set.
Absolutely. When he did Sweet Pain, I'm like, they can stop now.
So it's kind of funny.
I thought Love Theme would be like the real surprise for the people, because we can whip out some obscure Gene songs like you may not expect them, but you still kind of expect them. But man, Love Theme was one that was like, wow, this is going to blow some people away.
Well, I saw the video for it. Because I wasn't there, but it was good.
The best part of the Love Theme was those bass riffs. Gene was just.
Oh, he tore it up.
Yeah, man. He was digging right in it, like he owned that bass or something.
He's underrated. I mean,
I had his name on it.
So, what's on all of your wish lists? What's your one that we haven't done yet? Because we've done some...
Eyes.
Well, I'm with Bill on this one. You want to just say it? Two-timer.
Two-timer.
Two-timer is fucking
awesome. Dressed to Kill. Two-timer.
All right.
Yeah. I told Philip that the other day, and Phil's like, "We're going deep," and I'm like, "Oh."
Two-timer
I figure at some point they're all going to get done. I mean, we've done Ladies in Waiting. I think it was only one or two shows, but we did do it. So X-Ray Eyes is really high on mine because that was my favorite song on Dynasty.
Right.
So I'd really like to do that one.
I tell you, another one too. I like Childhood's End. Have you got? Off of.
I don't know Carnival of Souls very well. I'm not going to lie. I feel kind of embarrassed about that.
Amen, brother.
Great. Yeah.
I was so far and deep into classic rock and obscure classic rock, and man, I was so 60s and 70s by 95, 96 that super, super, super heavy shit just passed right by me. And I don't know, maybe I need to check it out because people do request that song.
Carnival.
Do you ever play off something off of that
or hate?
Shit, it will.
Just do hate.
People will freak out.
I will tell you this. I am the guy in charge of lyric sheets and set lists. So I carry a folder with lyric sheets around, and I have lyric sheets for Love 'Em and Leave 'Em and Ladies Room ready to go whenever we bust into that.
Oh, I like that'd be great too.
And I laid out the lyric sheet for Ladies Room at our rehearsal last time, and man, he looked over it a couple times and he just didn't bite.
Really? Wow.
Should have put a donut on it.
We did do Ladies Room one time though. We did it in Chicago last year.
Right.
Because we had done Christine 16 on his birthday the night before, and Shannon and Sophie after the show were like, "You got to quit doing that song. That song's creepy."
It is.
And so Philip just started saying, "Ladies Room, let's do Ladies Room, Ladies Room, let's do Ladies Room," and he just kind of started running the lyrics in his head, and we kind of did a sound check, and man, that's like one of those situations. Like he bit, like we just randomly did Ladies Room on stage that night, and that was the only time, but. We would all really like to do Ladies Room a little more often, and Love 'Em and Leave 'Em is at the top of our list too.
I love 'Em and Leave 'Em.
Well, I have the lyrics ready to go.
There you
all
go.
All he's got to do is bite.
You just got to get him to Cheap Trick or Johnny Cash or whatever that guy's name is that does the lyrics thing sheets to lay down there for him. That was that dude. That was funny. He was busting that kid or the guy that was putting the lyric sheets down that he's busting on. He did that same thing to some kid or some guy in Indianapolis or in Anderson too. The guy was just giving him 7 kinds of hell.
That's fun.
Yeah, and that was our good friend David Stonich. He did that to him in Chicago last year too. So I mean, at least David knows he's probably going to get his balls busted on stage if he does lyric duty. So
yeah, but how many people get to say they got their balls busted on stage by Gene?
Yeah, no shit. It's a privilege.
There was some guy,
son of a bitch.
Yeah, there was some guy Gene told him to uncross his arms because we weren't in church.
That was you.
That was me.
Yeah, that was great.
Awesome. Well, like I said, this weekend's gonna be great. Looking forward to it. So we'll be seeing you up there, dude.
Awesome.
Well, Jeremy,
maybe we'll do some live Facebook videos and
yeah,
show your bugs.
There you go.
Cool. Be
Well,
awesome.
Thanks for being on the show. Hang on for a minute.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Hang on for a minute after we get off of
Sorry
here.
about my neighbor.
Oh no, that was great. That makes
out
it
there,
funny.
Planet Earth. I really do live in a nice neighborhood.
Comic relief.
Exactly. Hang around
It's
for a
all
second.
good. It's all good in the hood.
All right, folks. Check us out on agesofrock.com. Find us on Instagram, Twitter,
Ages of Rock,
Spotify.
everybody.
That's right. Stitcher Radio, all that good stuff. Till next week. Peace out. Thanks for listening to the Ages of Rock podcast. If you haven't done so already, be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel, like us on Facebook, and most importantly, tell all your friends. Remember, you're never too old to rock. Until the next episode, peace out, folks.